Tell us who you are, why you're running for education, and why should students vote for you. Michael, you can start.
So, I'm Michael, and I'll start things off very simply. I would not have gone for this role if I didn't think I had the passion, the drive, and the policies I wanted to influence. I'm not going for this role to stick up my CV or going for this role for the role's sake. I honestly think I would be one of the best people to go for this role. That's why I'm here. We all come to university for education, but we don't live in a stagnant world. Everything's dynamic, everything keeps moving, and our education should keep moving as well. So even though feedback happens at the end of the year, that's too late. Feedback should be constant. It should be a partnership between students and lecturers to adapt our education to make us one of the greatest universities in this country. I feel like we need to ask ourselves, are we getting a £9,250 degree? If the answer isn't yes, what can we do to make it that much? And honestly, we have the best opinions when it comes to that. Yes, we should talk to lecturers as well because they are there as well. And we can use the university's massive business links to make it a three-way work into making our degree worthwhile. So when you come out of university and you come up against someone from Oxford or Cambridge or a Russell Group, you can sit there and go, ha, being at UCLan got me this, which you didn't get. Got me at UCLan got you this. Like, it's one of the most important roles, and I honestly think if you were to elect me, I'd try my hardest and I'd push myself. I was a school president, I was a course rep, academic societies rep, so I've actually seen how each societies and schools can work together to actually improve education, not just through your normal course, but around it as well to supplement your learning. I've spoken to students and lecturers, and I've even found the way the university's business links work, and I honestly think so much more can be done. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Eleanor. I'm currently the School of Sport and Wellbeing President. I'm also the chair of the Kayak Club, the Social Sector Mountaineering Club, and you have recently elected me to be a delegate at the NUS National Conference and the NUS Women's Conference, which is coming up soon. So the reason I've decided to run to be VP Education is because I don't come from the most traditionally academic course. I do adventure sports coaching. So I've seen a lot of stuff, and I can sort of, from the outside, see that the issues aren't just academic, it's all the stuff around that contributes to your education. So some of the things I can bring, I've got a lot of experience with sort of lobbying, debating, and I feel like I sort of know what the students want from the fact that quite a few of my big ideas that I've put forward have gone through or are going through student council. Some of the things that I'm quite keen on, one of the main points is giving the power back to the courses. So for instance, in quite a few sports courses, they need to go do Camp America and stuff like that. So they would benefit from finishing earlier, but they can't because of university policy. So I want to lobby the university to ensure that the courses are more bespoke to what each course needs. I'm also very keen, like Michael, on feedback. I feel it needs to be more often, but not just an online form. I feel we need to find different platforms because some people don't like communicating through that, such as focus groups, drop-in sessions, more options so that we can feed back because we're paying for our education, so we should say how it goes. I'm also keen on flexible dissertation lengths. So quite a few companies want you to have a bigger dissertation than what UCLan currently allows you to do. So where appropriate and where wanted, I think we should have the right to do that. And one of my other main points, I've got more, but I can see the time, is about appealing appeals. Make them more appealing, make them easier. You're not doing it because you want to, you're doing it because you have to. So it should be easier to do. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Gemma. I'm currently the school president for Social Work Co and Community. I've been representing students for the past 4 years as a course rep also. Like these guys, we're really passionate about student voice and representation. I want to make sure that we continue to let every single student's voice be heard within the university and the SU, which is something that I'm very passionate about. It shouldn't just be exclusive to some groups and not others. Everyone should be able to be heard and listened to equally. I'm very passionate about removing barriers to education because personally I understand that education can be a lifeline to many students. It's not just something you do to fill your time. Sometimes it can be your lifeline to getting out of situations that you don't want to be in anymore and to improving your life and going the places that you dream to be. And that would be things, for example, finances. We should be looking at applications for the Access to Learning Fund, the application process for ECs, removing those barriers, having to re-explain yourself if you're going through certain medical problems with your academic staff is absolutely ridiculous. We shouldn't have to keep hashing these things out. There needs to be more consistency. There needs to be more consistency throughout the university as well. It's not good enough that we're doing really brilliantly academically in one school and not another. Why are we not sharing these ideas? We need to make sure that what is working well continues to work well, but throughout the whole university. And also, if we see an area that is not working well, we need to flag that with the rest of the universities to make sure they're looking out for that as well. I'm just really passionate about education because for me, like I say, it has been a lifeline for me, and I want that to continue for students in the future generations and the ones that are already here.
Okay, so we've had quite a few questions for education. I've got a big pile of these, which is great. Unfortunately, we won't get time to go through every single one, but I've tried to pick the main themes and pick on as many questions as we can. So, without me going on, let's go. We'll start with Eleanor for this one. Some courses are between schools and feel unrepresented and often sit through double lectures, lectures that are not relevant to them, etc. How would you work with staff to increase support for these courses? Examples are neuroscience between psychology and PABS, which I think is pharmacy and biomedical science. Yeah. So you've got a minute.
I think the main thing is communication, saying to these students, what do you need? Because I'm not here to just, if I was elected, I'm not here to just push my own agenda and do what I think. I'm here to represent the students. So getting them to feedback and say, well, actually, if this happens, that would really help us. And speaking with the course reps and the school presidents for the respective schools, even if they fall under more than one, and saying, what do you want? And then I'll advocate that and push that onto the university. So I don't think it's for me to say, I will do this. I think it's say, what do you need me to do? And I will do it for you wholeheartedly.
Can you just repeat the question for me again? How long?
It is quite long. That's why I kept hold of it. So, some courses are between schools and feel unrepresented and often sit through double lectures, lectures that are not relevant to them. How would you work with staff to increase support for these courses? Examples are neuroscience between psychology and pharmacy and biomedical science.
Okay, so often students may only have the connections with one of those schools. I think it's important, if they're taking part within two schools, they need to be represented in both those schools. So I think it's important to ensure that the course reps are well known to those students. Like Eleanor said, listening to the students, what do you want to gain from it, what's not working, what is good. Again, we need to take good feedback as well and keep doing what is good. And just working together with the students and making sure that the staff understand the challenges that the students are facing and to try and continuously improve on that.
Question again.
Yeah, guys, why'd you ask such long questions? So, for the third time. Some courses are between schools and feel unrepresented and often sit through double lectures, lectures not relevant to them, etc. How would you work with staff to increase support for these courses? Examples are neuroscience between psychology and pharmacy and biomedical science.
So I think this question can be taken in two parts. Every school has a school president, and I think school presidents could actually work together on this if they do have modules which are shared between them and come up with ideas. But also, so like I mentioned before, staff need to be talking to students, and students need to be able to feel capable of telling staff that, look, I've been in this module before, there's no point for it, or this doesn't cover what I need it to cover. In that way, you've got your school president backing the student and the staff working together. There should be a way in which a compromise can come about where students feel they've got more control within their courses. Because at the end of the day, like, the two people who would know this best would be the staff and the student. I will do my absolute best to make sure students are being heard, but I don't sit in that course. And recently in my school, I know they're looking to offer PhDs in prosthetics, which will bridge engineering and medicine. And if that's
Okay,
going
that's
to...
time